G'day everyone, Lucas here from Aussie Gamers Express, and today I am taking a look at a portable speaker from Edifier called the MP700. Now what I'm really keen for this product to do is to connect to my Nintendo Switch, play some awesome sound, and also maybe just maybe charge the Nintendo Switch as well. Let's see if it can do that. Alright, so first of all, let's get into unboxing the Edifier MP700. Quickly before we open the box, Bluetooth 4.0 with NFC, near field connection? Something like that. 8 hours rechargeable battery, 5 volt mobile charge out. Now, 5 volt, I know the Nintendo Switch can charge with 5 volts, but does need 15, so you might not be able to play and charge, but you might get a slow trickle charge happening. 2-way speakers with electronic crossover, 3 passive radiators for enhanced bass, and 36 watts RMS. Alright, let's have a look. Let's get this open. Alright, let's open it up. Okay, now what I just wanted to say as well is this is a review product that has been supplied to me from Edifier. However, there are no agreements or sponsorships or anything like that. All the opinions that you get from me in this video will be mine and mine alone. This one looks like it has been opened before. Let's take it out. Wow, okay, so that's the speaker. Let's put that aside. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Alright, we've got a box here with, looks likely, probably some charging cables. Alright. What do we have here? Alright, the charge. Okay, that'll be obviously for charging it. And we've got a 3.5mm headphone jack, which will come in handy. Alright, let's put the box away. Okay, let's have a look at the speaker itself. Right, it is constructed of what feels like some sort of metal. Aluminium, I would probably guess. It feels quite tough. Got a rubber footing, rubber bottom on it, which is good. And we've got 3 buttons. We've got what looks like a power, a minus, and a plus on there. MP700 designs. Is that? Oh yeah, okay, that moves. That's about all that it does, is that sort of movement there. Up and down. Let's see if we can turn it on. Okay, it's on. We've got some sort of blinking blue light, if you can see that on there, which is probably meaning it's trying to connect with Bluetooth. We'll connect something up to it shortly. Let's have a look at what connectors that we've got. Line out, DC out, and DC in. Let's flip this open. So in here we've got a 3.5mm headphone jack there, and a USB and a power socket there, so we can very likely charge. The USB will probably be for charging, whether it be your phone, or in this case I'm going to try the Nintendo Switch, and an auxiliary in there for putting in some sort of input for your sounds and music as opposed to Bluetooth. Alright, so what I want to try first is connecting the Nintendo Switch here to the audio. We'll have a listen to what it sounds like, because that's pretty much what I would use these portable speakers for, is playing my portable games. Now when you're playing on the Nintendo Switch alone, it does have its own speakers. However, the speakers aren't that powerful. They're not pretty impressive. I'll pump it up all the way, and let's put, okay, my daughter is halfway through a game of Fortnite, which needs an update, so I'm not going to show you that one. Alright, I'm going to boot up Legend. Okay, the system needs an update. Okay, well the Nintendo Switch needs an update, which I didn't check before I started recording this video, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to boot up The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Nintendo Switch, and I'll show you what it sounds like just coming from the Nintendo Switch speakers itself. It's not terribly good, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not too bad for mobile gaming, but if you could boom it out of something a little bit better, say if you were in a hotel room or something like that, somewhere where you're not going to bother people because the volume's up so loud, probably a good thing. But have a listen of this. Alright, so we've got the Nintendo Switch sounds. Now it's going to be fairly quiet because the Nintendo Switch doesn't have a lot of volume to it. Hey, got him. Lovely. Alright, so that is Breath of the Wild, just using the speakers that are on the Nintendo Switch console itself. So now what I want to do is, well, I don't know if I can pair it up Bluetooth, because I haven't tried that with the Nintendo Switch before. I'm going to try that. If that doesn't work, if the Nintendo Switch doesn't support that kind of audio, what I'll do is we'll plug it in using a 3.5mm headphone jack into the MP700, and we'll see how that sounds. Okay, now I don't actually think that it does support Bluetooth audio to another device, the Nintendo Switch I'm talking about. If it does, I don't know how to do it. You can correct me in the comments down below. So I'm just going to use 3.5mm headphone jacks for the sake of this test. Okay, I'm having trouble trying to work out how to get this to accept audio from the 3.5mm headphone jack. It looks like it wants to pair in Bluetooth, but I've got the 3.5mm headphone jack plugged in to the speaker and into the Nintendo Switch, but I've got no sound. So bear with me. Okay, I'm resorting to the instruction manual. When the speaker is in Bluetooth mode, you need to press power button into auxiliary mode. The LED indicator will turn to red. It's just turning it off. Hey! I got it! What the hell did I do differently? I don't... So you need to hold it for like 3 seconds, but like 4 seconds will turn it off? Okay, that's exactly what it is. Right, so you turn it on, it's in Bluetooth mode. If I hold it down for like two seconds, it goes into auxiliary mode. If you hold that down for a little bit too long, it turns it off. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. An extra button, or use one of these so it's not going to turn it off, would probably have been a better idea. So I've just powered it off. I'm trying to go into auxiliary mode. So that's what it is. It's a long press to turn it off and on, and a shorter press to go into auxiliary mode or Bluetooth mode. It's easy to get that wrong. I don't like that. Alright, let's give this a try now. We heard it with the onboard speakers of the Nintendo Switch. Let's crank this up. Alright, I'd imagine that's all the way up. This is all the way up. Let's make some noise.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds good. Alright, so there you go. It does sound a lot clearer, it's a lot nicer. Now, it's probably not the best example of how a Bluetooth speaker can perform by just showing off that. You probably want to hear some music. We'll do that in a second. Or now. No, we'll play some pretty cool music. Let's do that now. Alright, so I now have the MP700 connected via Bluetooth to my iPhone here. I'm going to play some royalty-free chiptune disco fib. I don't know, if you like the music, it'll be in the description down below. Alright, so let's give it a try and we'll find out how the functions work and how it sounds. It's going to come through microphone, so it's not going to be as the best that it possibly can, but it'll give you an idea and I'll give you my opinions as well. Alright, let's go. Play. Alright, I've got it down quite low to start with, but let's turn the volume up. Quite a clicky volume button too. Bass is good down low. Let's go for full volume. think the battery went flat. Let's plug it in. Alright, so when you're changing the volume, you've got to just keep pressing the volume down. So click it all the way down, on and off, and keep clicking it like that to go up. What I found that if you hold down, say, the plus volume, it switches over to the next track. And if you hold down the minus volume, it switches back to the previous track, which is good for having that sort of control. But I think to turn the volume all the way down, I'd like to hold the volume button down. And same with turning the volume all the way up, I'd rather just press and hold, rather than another thing as well, there's no indication that you've got max volume because you just keep pressing it. You don't know if it's getting louder or not. It doesn't give you any sort of audio beep when you're getting to the max volume, so you know you're there. That would have been a nice addition. I feel that this unit is big enough to have a few more buttons on it, while it only has 3. I think it's missing. It should have a button for mute. It should have a button for skip and go back to previous track. It should have a few more dedicated buttons. And they've gone for a minimalist sort of design here, but I think that's a missed opportunity to make this a little bit more user-friendly. Alright, let's give this a go and see if this will actually charge the Nintendo Switch. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so I've got a USB to USB-C, which will charge a Nintendo Switch. Let's plug that in. Alright, so yeah, I've plugged it in now to the Nintendo Switch. As you can see, we've got it plugged in there. And I've got a charging symbol. It's at 86%. Let's give it a few minutes and we'll see if that manages to increase. Alright, well there you have it. I'm going to give you some final words on the MP700 now, and we'll check before we finish the video to see if the charging is still working on the Nintendo Switch. But we've got the MP700 from Edifier, which has near-field communication, which I can't get to work, which may or may not be an issue. It probably just doesn't support iPhones. You have your Bluetooth connectivity, which works fine. It has also 3.5mm headphone jack input, and we've got the 3 buttons on the top. Power, which will also do switching between auxiliary and Bluetooth. Got volume up and volume down, and the ability to skip songs with Bluetooth connectivity. Now, when listening to music and turning up the volume up super loud, it doesn't sound the clearest of all speakers that I've heard, but it is absolutely a competent speaker. Sounds great. It's very powerful for the unit that it's in. It's something I would expect. It's I would say a mid-range quality speaker. The design itself of the MP700 is pretty good. It's a good looking design. Nice sleek black design. Feels good. That metallic finish, aluminium I think it is, feels really good. Feels really sturdy. It's probably going to get some dents and knocks and bumps if you drop it. But, I mean, that's probably most things that aren't designed to be specifically outdoorsy and rugged. It has a 7600 milliamp hour battery, which will allow up to 8 hours use. Now, with that 8 hours use, I think that would be dependent on the volume that you use, the style. You know, also, if you're using the auxiliary cable, you're probably going to get a little bit longer out of it, which is pretty impressive. But the 5-volt mobile charge out, so you can charge devices, that's helpful as well. However, it may not be glaringly obvious because it's not advertised in your face, but the 5-volt output for charging your mobile devices, mobile phones, smartphones, is actually a separate 500 milliamp hour battery. So in charging your phone, you're not actually going to take away from the battery time of playing music, which is a pretty neat idea to include that second battery. Finally, if you were wondering about whether or not it would charge a Nintendo Switch, unfortunately while the Switch was plugged in, it started dropping percentage wise. So it probably will take some power and slow down the discharge rate of the Nintendo Switch's battery. It's not going to charge it. You need more power than that. Well, anyway, that is all I have today on the MP700. If you have any questions, comments and concerns, put them down in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. If you enjoyed this video, then smash that like button, and if you disliked this video, then there's a button there for you too. If you super duper loved the video, then go ahead and press the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. But until then, I am Lucas, and I will see you.